Hello, everyone. Welcome to Yoga and Movement with Maud. I am Maud, and today I want to welcome you to your Yoga for Dysautonomia Warriors passive class, part 2. I have a part 1 out there that I have uploaded, and if you have already taken that class, great. You are in for a little bit of variety. But if you've not taken that class, you might want to take that first, or if you want to stick with this one, it's fine as well. If you have dysautonomia, I probably don't have to explain to you what it is, but as a reminder, our autonomic nervous system is basically the issue, right? So there are certain things that are just beyond our control. And what I'm going to just urge you today is just to listen to your body. Some of these moves may be challenging for you. You may have to take things a little bit slow. You may have to hit pause and enjoy the moment more, elongate that experience, or you could just follow along with me. But just make sure that, like me, you have your electrolytes, your hydration in hand. You have all the props in the world. As you can see, I have my bolster, I have my 2 blocks, I have my pillow. So I could add blankets and so many things here, but for today, this is all I need. And so grab those furniture, those pieces of props before we start, because you might need them to make the practice feel more supportive. This is a passive version. So I would urge us to probably really focus on down regulating our nervous system, but still have the time and the energy to make some shapes with the body so that we're not just stagnant. We're actually letting the system flow, the blood flow, circulatory system, and the breathing as well, letting that go. Otherwise, or letting that flow rather, otherwise we wouldn't be doing yoga if we were just kind of making these moves without paying attention to the breath. And that's what makes yoga yoga. Okay, for a lot of us, we would rather actually start on a more reclined position even as we're face down or prone. So if you are that person, please honor that. Basically, what I mean to say is if, say, you have a big pillow and you lay on it a little bit more reclined, this might be a higher version of what you want, kind of face down here or on your side. Honor whatever is comfortable for you. But actually, we are going to start a little bit on the flatter side with a big pillow or a bolster. But please keep your blocks and other props close. If you want to put a pillow on top of your pillow, your bigger pillow, you can do that as well. But for the sake of this practice, I am going to start here a little bit flat and lay my chest on it and provide some modifications for you. So make sure that the side of your body, like the side body towards the outside of your hips, are coming in contact with something like that big pillow, and you're sort of melting towards the top of your bolster, and then those legs can just sort of bend. You're not really overthinking this move, right? You're just kind of here knowing that this is our starting point. In my first class, our starting point, we start facing the ceiling, reclined, but for this class, we're going to start on our side. So bend the legs, just let them hang, and just sort of glazing that bigger pillow with the side body. Parts of your chest are going to come in contact with it. Hopefully the side of your face is on it. And however you look like, it really doesn't matter. What matters to me is how you feel. So as we're here, please close the eyes if that's comfortable, and if it's not, then just keep the eyelids heavy. No deep breath just yet. Just let the body situate and settle in this shape. Whether you're on your left side or your right side is completely up to you, because I do want you to start at a place where you're most comfortable, and it's all about you and your practice. And now that we've settled a little bit, we've taken some time here, Now let's take some deep breaths. So inhale through your nose. And then open the mouth and sigh it out. Melt, melt, melt. Inhale in. Exhale out. When you inhale, let your rib cage inflate like a balloon. And as you exhale, feel like you could just melt and trust your pillow. And now we're going to tap into some soft but still intentional breathing, just inhaling through the nose and out either through the nose or softly through the mouth. Those of you with EDS, try to resist the urge to have the body go the farthest it usually can because of your hypermobility, hyperflexibility, and just bring everything back to center but still tap into softness. And just breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. About 2 more breaths, breathing in and out through the nose, or in through the nose and out through the mouth softly. Nice job. Blink your eyes to open. Perfect. Now we're just going to lift our upper arm. So whether this is your right or your left, it doesn't matter. But just make movements with your wrists, make circles. And if lifting this up towards the sky just increases your heart rate too much, then just do it down low here towards the floor, okay? Or towards your bed, wherever you are. And then reverse the circle. Like I said, we still want to encourage some circulation and some movement. Beautiful. Place the upper hand down towards the mat or the floor or your bed and slowly push yourself up. Slide the pillow out for now. And then we are going to lie flat on the mat. Stack one hand on top of the other. You're going to place your head there, your forehead. Now, please do this as slowly as you can, as I know postural changes for some of us can prove really challenging. Please take your time. You can just put your forehead down, or if you want, you can face this side. That way you don't have to worry about being dizzy too much. And just be in a place where you're not as lightheaded. I know that sometimes hard for some of us, rather. As you breathe in, feel like you're pressing the floor with your belly and just let things inflate. And as you exhale, feel a sense of letting go and melting. I am deliberately breathing a little bit loud so you can be encouraged from that. Encouraged by that. And then just swing the hips left and right. A little bit of sassiness here. And then stop in the middle and just lift your feet up towards the ceiling. And then just do windshield wipers left and right with your feet. And you'll notice the wider your knees are from each other, the better this feels on the lower back. So slide those knees as far apart from each other and just windshield wiper left and right. Maybe 2 more windshield wipers. Breathe in, breathe out, friends. Nice job. Stop at the center. This time we are going to roll towards our side again and again, whichever side you chose, it doesn't matter. But I'm going to make a pillow with my arm here. And if you'd rather use an actual pillow, then grab your pillow and place it under the head. But for me, right now, I'm feeling pretty comfortable making my arm here as my pillow. Now, I'm on my left side, so I'm going to bend my left leg, and I'm going to open my right knee up towards the ceiling just a little bit like this. If you want to straighten the left leg, you can do that as well. What we're going to do here is we're going to pause at this shape and breathe through this, placing the upper hand on the mat or on your bed. And this kind of challenges the core and the balance a little bit. So we're not doing anything crazy here. Now, if you want to place a pillow in front behind you, go ahead, have at it, go to town. Otherwise, we can just stay here, laying on our sides and breathing. And like I said, I really wanted you to try this on the side that you're most comfortable with, which is why I didn't tell you to be on your left or right sides. Because we kind of want to start at a place that's more familiar to us in terms of comfort and sustainability, that we can stay there for a few more moments than the other side. Again, close the eyes or let the eyelids feel heavy. You must be wondering, why is the other leg bent with the knee pointing towards the ceiling? I say that because it's easy for us to just curl in, to stagnate in one position. Either we're lying completely face up supine, or we're crouched, or we're in fetal position, and just stay there, right? We do need to make shapes with our bodies so that there's different pathways, there's different things going on. This is a hip opener, right? But if you do this a little bit more actively, this actually hits the gluteus medius, the side of the butt, that muscle. And if you're just lying down, not moving much, these muscles tend to weaken. And so I just figured in this more passive approach that we would still make some shapes here. Please breathe, my friends. Deep inhale in. And let it all out. One more breath. Exhale it out. And so now bend that lower leg. Grab one of your props, whether it's the pillow or the block or whatever you have, a blanket. Place it between the thighs, and now is the time to stack up one knee on top of the other. You can still make a pillow out of your hand or grab something else, but stay right here. Staying on your side, not sleeping necessarily. But this position right here, this resembles usually a position in bed when we're about to sleep, or a very restful, observing pose. And so that helps down regulate the nervous system. Perhaps keep your visual a little bit more inward towards your breath, regardless of how noisy your environment is, how distracting your environment is visually. Turn your focus inward and let your breath take attention. Breathing in and out. Take your time. At any point in this class, you want to elongate the experience, hit pause on the video and I will not be offended. In fact, I'd be happy if you want to linger here longer than I'm letting you in this video. Just remember, you're the pilot of this practice. Listen to your body. And take a few more breaths here. Everything is intentional. The in-breath, the out-breath. One more inhale and exhale, please. And after your next exhale, blink the eyes to open if they were closed. Use your upper hand to gently push yourselves up. And we're going to do all that on the other side, but instead of facing away from you, I am going to slide over here and do it on the other side. So just remember to have the side of your hip, outside your hip, come in contact with your bigger pillow. And when you do that, I want you to really find the time to sort of place yourself with intention on top of your pillow or your prop. Legs can just do whatever they want to do as long as you're comfortable. There's no such thing as hurrying up in a yoga class. How much more for a passive class, right? So we try to approach things really with intention and with care and being cognizant of our limitations, but also embracing our strengths. Negative self-talk can really take us to distances that we ought not to. So instead of thinking, I am out of shape, perhaps think, oh, there's a lot for me to work on and I am ready for it. Or instead of thinking, oh, I'm just too weak for this and too weak for that, maybe change the narrative to be, I am going to make sure I work up towards strength. I build myself up towards being stronger. And there is power in changing those narratives that flip to become more positive and optimistic. Breathe in and out. Make sure that as you're here, you're not passing any judgments on the body, trying not to be disappointed that this is all you're doing, quote unquote. In fact, honor the fact that you're showing up. Thank yourselves for showing up. Take one more breath, inhale and exhale. And slowly lift your upper arm up. Revisit those hip circles. As you're doing these circles, try to not be too fast about it or too quick about it. Make sure that you reverse the circle. Again, just be cognizant of any increase in heart rate. It probably is because every time we extend a limb out, our heart has to pump a little bit faster. And then slowly release that arm. Place the upper hand down. Gently, gently, gently take your time to push yourselves up. Remove the pillow out of the way. We're going to be prone once again, so face down, making a pillow out of your hand, stacking one hand on top of the other. And perhaps if you remember, stack the other hand on top. And be cognizant of any dizziness or lightheadedness that you may have. And I'm not going to tell you your own story, but I know you know what works best for you in terms of this. If you need another prop to be here, then do so.
Shimmy, shimmy the hips left and right. And whenever you're ready, lift the feet up, separating the knees and windshield wiper left and right as well. Breathing in and out. You can probably tell some of the movements you're doing get slower and slower the longer you spend your time here. And that means you have successfully downregulated your own nervous system. All right. One more, left and right. And then lower the feet. Roll onto this side, whether it's your right or your left, but it's let's just call it your second side. You make a decision. You need an actual pillow, or can you make a pillow out of the bottom arm? I'm on my right side, so I'm bending my right leg, and I am going to bend my left leg with my left knee pointing towards the ceiling. And my left hand is on top of the mat, and the reverse of all that could be your case, and it's totally fine. Close the eyes. Eyelids heavy, focus inward, attention inward, and the breath is king. There are many, many types of dysautonomia. There are at least 15 types. So whatever you're feeling now, just honor that. And just know that there's just no way to capture every single symptom, every single experience. But I myself, I am familiar with POTS and Vasovagal Syncope, and also EDS. Even though I do not have EDS, I was tested for it, and as a yoga instructor, I know how it feels like to be regarded as hypermobile and hyperflexible and all that. And always just bringing our joints, our beings, our spirits, our sense of energy back to center instead of flip-flopping around and giving in to what our joints have defaulted to, right? So even though we can completely open up, we try to bring it back to center. Even though we can lengthen out, we try to bring it back to center. And yoga is so perfect for that type of discipline where we are integrated to our centers. What's the biggest center of all in this practice right now? It's the breath, and you probably guessed it. Take two more right here. Inhale and exhale. And then slowly release from the pose. Grab your pillow, whichever prop it was that you put between your legs. And this time, you can just lie on your side. Make a decision with what your head is going to rest on. Stay right here. To me, somehow, as long as I'm not staying for long here, this is fine. My arm actually does not sleep until much after. But I know for a lot of people, this may be an issue. So just grab a pillow, grab something. And then lay your head on top of it. Breathe in and out like your life depends on it. Because guess what? It does. Breathing in and out. That's your only job right here, is to be here. There's no grocery list to check off. Don't even think about dinner. Don't even think about things that are just distracting you. And if you have to think about it, let those thoughts in and then let them go like clouds. Using your breath, just let it go. Not getting attached, not ruminating any thoughts. One more breath. Inhale and then exhale. Beautiful. Lay on our backs, please. And if you laying flat is not a good thing for you, please lay your head on top of a pillow. Remove this prop out of the way. Get your feet to be as wide as your mat or just wider wherever you are in bed with your hands on the belly. And just revisit those knee windshield wipers left and right. Slow as you go. And then you come back to center. I want you to walk your feet in a little bit. Grab a yoga block or a thick pillow. Lift your hips up and then place it under your hips. Sorry, place it under your lower back. So it's not in your glutes like here, and it's not on your middle spine. It's on the lower back. And then just place your hands on the belly or on the side, whatever makes you feel a bit more relaxed. The hands on the belly just kind of reminds you to expand on the in-breath and release on the out-breath. Now, if you're okay with this, send your knees towards the chest first and then lift your legs up towards the sky. You can do really gentle ankle rolls like we did with our wrist circles. Just kind of, sorry, I meant to say ankle circles. Ankle roll just sounds like we're out hiking and we rolled our ankles, right? We don't want that. So just having the legs long towards the sky. And stop right here in the middle and let's just hang. Breathing in and out. You can hit pause on the video, like I said. And you can elongate this experience. Otherwise, let's take one more breath. Inhale. And then exhale. Lower the feet down. We're going to do one active glute bridge, but this is the most active thing we'll do. Lift your hips and your butt away from the prop, squeezing the glutes, activating the legs, but we're just going to be here for 2 more breaths because I do have an active class out there, and the intention is to activate and strengthen the lower body especially. Inhale. And then exhale. Lift the prop away from your hips and your butt and just lower them down. Maybe you can knock the knees together, feet are apart, and hands are on the belly. Now, friends, you can stay here for as long as you want, but I am going to bid you adieu. I'm going to say goodbye because I do want you to honor your ending in this class and this experience. This is called like a last resting pose. In yoga, if you spread your legs and your hands are out, it's called corpse pose or shavasana. So whatever that looks for you, just do, just make a shape, do a resting pose that feels comfortable where you can stay for about 5 minutes. And if you are choosing to do shavasana like this with the legs long, placing something under the knees just is friendlier on the lower back. Otherwise, I am going to bend my legs with the feet apart, knees knocked together with my hands on the belly, and I'm going to breathe, and you can stay here for as long as you want. Thank you so much for sharing your practice. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself. Until I see you next time, take care.